So what I'm gonna do here now, since I got my bumper mounted on here, is I'm gonna go ahead and transfer this cut square with my bumper. I don't I don't want my fender going down at an angle. I left it long like that, so when I got the bumper on, I could come back and cut it off. Over here on the other side, we're going to do the same thing. That's what I want. Looks good. Looking real good. Looking real good. I like it. So the bar, we come here. And I don't want to put the dang. We'll finish the front, the grill and all. We'll finish the grill rough, what we're going to do to it as far as the aluminum plate and cutting the holes in it. I think I'm going to cut a lot of holes in it. Kind of like that mess over there, but it's the actual aluminum plate here. We're going to take this aluminum plate. It's 21 and 8 roughly. 22, 9/16. Trim some of it off. 22. Make it 22. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna be 21 and 16. Just a little bit too wide to fit in there like it is. Just a little. We could probably grind on it, make it work. Just a little bit. I don't know if I knock that corner against something. Cut it like that. we didn't want to cut much off of it. I just wanted to trim about just a little bit off of it. A little bit, maybe an eighth, just a hair less. So what we're going to do here is, so I'm gonna have to get me some jigsaw blades. I believe I might have one or two that is good for aluminum. I think the jigsaw blades with the bigger gaps in them cut that aluminum better than the ones with the small gaps, because the small gaps, they fill up with that aluminum and it don't cut. You have to keep digging it out. And if you put something like WD-40 on it, it cuts even better. So let's see if I got some of the bigger ones and go from there. All right, so what we got here is a piece of aluminum, old piece of aluminum plate I had, and I'm gonna make me a grill to go in the front of my mailbox hood. So we're gonna cut this aluminum, and I got a big one aluminum cutting jigsaw blade with the big teeth in it. They make them both ways. They make them with the fine teeth and they make them with the bigger teeth. But I find the ones with the bigger teeth cut a little bit better. And if it keeps that aluminum, you know, from being all filled up all the little holes in there. So the bigger teeth, the aluminum can get out, and then I'll put me a little bit of that cutting oil on it. And it just seems to last longer. So we got a rough shape cut here, and we're going to have to go back and trim it up because I cut it a little bigger than what I need it, so I can go back and trim a little bit at a time till I can get it fit where I want it. And that little aluminum dust, that stuff getting your face, getting your eyes, it's real dangerous if you ain't got something over your face. I'm gonna take it up here and I'm gonna mark it. I'm sure it ain't gonna fit, but I'm gonna remark it again and get a little bit closer. That one, but I want to go just a hair lower because that one put primer and paint and all that stuff on it. I don't want to be super tight, so I'm gonna give myself just a little bit of play there, so I got enough room to do the body work on it and prime it and all that stuff, and it fits like I need it. So that ought to straighten it up a little bit. We still got to go in the corners and grind all that steel out. Every step you do, you just get a little closer to being finished. That stuff's hot. It's gonna be hot. So we'll test fit it, get it close, and then we'll go in there and we'll cut all the stuff out. I think I may even have to kind of give that metal a little bend because it ain't necessarily, it don't feel flat across there. And it could be some of that steel holding it out. I ain't got no metal up there. I need to bring me some metal out and reshape it. All I want to do is just reshape that corner up there just a little bit. That's it. That's all we want it to do. Just put that little corner back on there where it got chipped off. That's it. All right, so now we got that pretty much fitted. We need to get us some drill bits and we need to drill it and pull it in there tight and kind of take the hammer and make sure it takes the shape I want it. So basically, I need to figure out where I'm going to cut my hole at for the mill. So how wide is a book? How wide is your average book magazine? About 12, 14. I got to establish a mark, so I know my angle iron is right here. So it's got to be above that. So it's got to be anywhere from 14 to 16. Yeah. We'll put it from 14 to 16. That's going to be the hole where she drops her mail in there. And yeah, I mean, that's 2 inches. That's plenty of space for a regular piece of mail or a little small a little small pack of bolts or something, you know, that just regular come through the mill. I mean, you ain't gonna put no big boxes in there. That's why I got the back. But either way, she has to come down here and come all the way down this dirt road and get out of a car and walk up under the garage to put the boxes anyway. So I'm gonna make it where she can just get out of a car at the mailbox, open the back of the box, and stick all her stuff in there and keep on rolling. But any paper mail or any books or any small packages would still be able to fit up here through the front. That's what we're looking for. So we're gonna go from 14 to 16. And we're gonna draw some mark across here straight. Or better yet, we'll pop us a line. All right, so that's what we're looking for. Right, won't spin. So this diagram here, it ain't a very good name brand. This is another one of them little cheap ones come from a Harbor Freight, bought in the spare of the minute because I needed something right then, cheap, just to do one little project. Last year I think I bought it. Uh, and I normally stay away from buying these tools, no name brand tools, just for that reason. But sometimes I will run up there and grab one if I run into something, I'm working on something and I need something, you know, just for a 30-minute project, just to hurry up and get it done. I have bought a couple of them. Sometimes you get a little bit of luck out of them. Sometimes they don't last hardly long enough to get them out of the store. This particular brand here, Hercules, that's the first tool I've had with it, and I hadn't really used it that much, and it didn't really last that long. So now the other grinder, on the other hand, that came from up there, that Bowyer, that one there has been running for a year and a half, 2 years, and that's a good one. But this no name brand tool here, I don't think it's very good. Anybody that's going to be using something, you know, more than 2 or 3 times, I don't think it would be a good choice. But I've used about all of them. Makita, uh, Milwaukee, them some of the better brand tools that hold up. DeWalt ain't really a good tool. I've used a bunch of them. I mean, they got a good name, but they're more or less into skill saws and stuff like that. But they don't really hold up. They got a lot of problems with them for somebody that uses them a bunch. But y'all watch me build this whole thing just with a grinder and a couple sanding wheels and a welder. And that's no fancy tools or anything, just basic. I just want to make sure I ain't got no rough edges. Afraid of something jumped out and bit her. Another thing when it's metal like this, you want to have all your holes covered up out there, because it'll be like a wasp, it'll attract wasps to get in little holes and hide where they warm in that metal. So we got to make sure we got most of all the holes covered up. So we got to see which way is the front, which way is the back. I think that's the back. This is going to be the front. Yep. So, I need to get me a bolt in both top corners, both bottom corners. So let's see about getting us a drill. Good bad. Sometimes it be taking too long for me. I'll be in a rush, so I don't go all the way till it stops. I'll take it out. If it'll cut, I'll just keep on going with it. And if I ain't in a rush, I'll keep on and on and on. But sometimes I get in a rush, and then it don't sharpen right, just like this one. This one ain't sharp. We got the angle wrong on it. If you don't get the angle right when you set it in there, there's a certain way you got to set it. If it don't tip in there just right, it cuts the wrong angle on it. See the difference in the noise? It was quit making noise a while ago, now it's grinding again. So the tip itself weren't sitting in that cradle like it's supposed to. So now I got to go through this whole process again and waste about 5 minutes. Yeah, that dang woodpecker or whatever that bird is tearing my wood up under here. I got to catch that sun gun around here and put him to sleep. tearing up too much wood. He's tearing up damage. It ain't no woodpecker. I don't know what kind of bird it is, but it's got a long beak on it. But the bird looks like a regular sized bird. But he's got a beak on him. I seen it up there in the tree one day. He's got a beak on him about 1.5 inches long. It's a long beak. And we got bees over here that's getting up in the wood. And this some gun's coming over here pecking through the wood. Looks like a lightning bolt hit the wood. Just striking the wood. And he's tearing the wood up. So he's got to get away from here. That's the floor in it right there. This is below the floor. So we'll see what we can do with this. But if you get the angle on it right, it works pretty good. If you get off on that angle, different type angle, it don't work that good. I brought some bolts out here. We're just gonna slap these in here temporary, just to kind of hold it. We don't want to pour no big dents in it. Get down, I got to cut that out. I want to cut this little section right here out. Right here. And first, what I'm gonna do is drill a hole big enough that I can get my jigsaw blade in there. I need to. From here down. From here down, I'm gonna drill a bunch of holes in it. A whole lot of holes. So, and there'll probably be like 3/8 holes. 3/8, 5/16 maybe. That's a 1/4 inch. I don't know. I might go quarter inch. 5/16 would probably be a good size. So what we want to do over here is we got the plate where we want it. We want to make sure we drill him from the front, which is going to be the front. This is going to be the front. We're going to take it back here and we're going to dole it out. From the edge, I want to stay away from the edge 1 inch, 1 inch, all the way around. I don't have to go any higher than that because that's as high as I'm going. Need some of that gnat spray. Where's it at? And gnats. We're going to stay away from everything an inch. All right, we're going to stay away from the bottom an inch. And we're going to stay away from the bottom here an inch. So if we got 13 7/8, 13 7/8, we need to come down to 12 7/8. 12 7/8. All right, so I'm going to drill holes all in this inside right here. So what we want to do is we got to make a pattern everywhere I want to drill holes. So if I'm going to drill holes, see how much we got here. We got right at 19 inches. Not quite, but right at 19 inches. We got 18 7/8. Yep. So we need to center exactly. So 9.5 will be 19. So we need to be 16th shy of 9.5. So we need to be 9 7/16. So we'll set it on an inch there on our mark. We'll go 10 7/16. 10 7/16. That's going to be our center mark. That's going to be the center mark. All right, from there, what we need to do is center up the bottom. So we got, let's put it on 2. 13, that would be what? 11 7/8. So we got 11 7/8. So that will be 5 15/16. 6 15/16 if we put it on an inch. Yeah. So we'll set the mark on an inch here. And we'll go 6 15/16. That's pretty close to being 6 inches. You have to be real fine tip with that marker because it's got a fat tip on it. So we got the center mark, both ways. We got dead, eyeball, bullseye, center. All right, so this is dead, bullseye, center right here. So what we're going to do is just go there and make us a grid pattern. And we're going to line up the marks. We got to figure out a good spacing so the marks will line up. And the best way to do that is probably put them on even like a ½ inch or something like that. If you start getting on that 5/16, a mess like that, you're going to probably get off. So we got 10 and a half, 10 and a half. All right. What we want to do, and it's the same thing we did on the other one over there, is we're going to put them if we mark them every ½ inch. And we drilled a 5/16 hole. That would be, that side there would be about there, and that would be about there. That won't give us a whole lot of meat in between there. We still want a little bit of meat in between it. So if we went 3/4, marked it every 3/4, we'll see what we come up with on the end. And if you go from the center out, you're going to have equal border on the end regardless. Whatever it ends up being, you're going to have the same on both sides. If you try to mark a certain measurement and go from the inside in to inside in, you might get in the middle and one of them's going to be off a little. It don't have to be much to be able to see it, but you'll see it. 1, 2. Like that, we're a quarter off from the line, but we still got an equal border over there, and we'll do the same thing over here. Yeah, so that'll end up being the same. So we'll do the same thing up here. We'll go from the center. We'll mark 3/4 out from the center. And that's what we end up with this way. So I would rather have a little small line instead of that big marker. I need to be close. I don't want to dig in too deep. If I make me a real light mark with my razor blade, I can come back and sand it out. As long as you don't get too crazy with it. That'll give me a closer to my mark than that big ballpoint magic marker. It's best to take your time on this. Get in a hurry, because once you drill them, they're there. You have to start all over from the beginning with a whole new piece of plate. Well, I guess you could go back in there and weld them back up. That's a lot of work too. All right. So we got all them marks here, and we're going to end up with about inch and a quarter border on each side when it's all said and done. So now we got to get us the same thing coming up. We want to be 3/4. We'll see what it works out to over here. $25 that way. 16, 18 that way. What's that? 25 times 18. How many is that? That's how many holes you're going to have. I ain't got my calculator with me, but so 25 times 10 is what? 250? 400 holes? Nah, that ain't right. Can't drill no 400 holes. If I got to drill 200 or 300 holes, I might have to have me a good drill bit. I ain't drilling that with no little rink-dink bit. Nah, I got to have me a good drill bit. If I got to drill that many holes, I'm going to drill me I got to have me a good drill bit. So if we ain't got a good drill bit, we going to get a good drill bit before I drill all them. I'm not drilling all them holes with no half drill bit. I drill them with a good one.